Fox spends 24 hours a day blowing Trump, and it's not enough. Imagine suing someone mid-blow.
So that is a snippet of Jon Stewart's monologue, his brilliant, passionate, powerful, brutal monologue from last night's Daily Show episode, in which he actually torched his own bosses for capitulating to Donald Trump, not just with their settlement, but also by canceling prominent Trump critic and Jon Stewart's friend, late-night comedian Stephen Colbert. And there's more where that came from, especially because Donald Trump dropped some fairly stunning news in regards to his settlement with Paramount that we also have to talk about. But before we do, if you end up liking this video and you want to support the channel, please be sure to hit the like, subscribe, and alert bells before you go. Now, of course, I should say the reason that in this part of the monologue, Jon Stewart referenced Fox News is because Fox News founder Rupert Murdoch is being sued by Donald Trump because of a Wall Street Journal article, which we discussed in a previous video a few days ago about that really creepy Epstein letter. And so Stewart's point is, hey, listen, even Fox News, Wall Street Journal, Rupert Murdoch, they are not free from Trump's wrath. If you ever, under any circumstances, deviate at all, you are at risk of punishment from a vindictive, insecure president of the United States. That's what he's trying to say to his bosses. So what are you trying to accomplish by capitulating? It will never be enough. All right. So we'll return to Jon Stewart in a moment because, again, you should see the full thing. It's brilliant. But Trump also was taking a victory lap. He says the word is, and it's a strong word at that, Jimmy Kimmel is next to go in the untalented late-night sweepstakes. And shortly thereafter, Fallon will be gone. These people were with absolutely no talent who were paid millions of dollars in all cases, destroying what used to be great television. It's really good to see them go, and I hope I played a major role in it. So Donald Trump is saying not only did he play a role in getting Stephen Colbert canceled, but he believes he'll be playing a role in the subsequent cancellations of Jimmy Kimmel and Jimmy Fallon. Is that true? Is it bullshit? Is it just wishful thinking? Who knows with Trump? But the fact that you have a sitting president of the United States bluntly articulating this, I mean, just imagine President Biden or President Obama saying something similar about, I don't know, Yellowstone or Gutfeld or like just some sort of show somewhere that conservatives like. Imagine what the backlash would be. And then again, before we get back to Stewart, there's also this breaking news, which is that Trump claims that he will effectively be getting $36 million from Paramount, which is, again, the company that owns CBS, which is the company that employs not just Stephen Colbert, but also ultimately Jon Stewart himself by way of Comedy Central. But it's not just the $16 million that was previously reported. Trump claims it'll basically be $36 million, okay? Trump makes shocking claim that his settlement with Paramount is actually for $36 million and threatens other outlets to get in line. He says Paramount/CBS/60 Minutes have today paid $16 million in settlement, and we also anticipate receiving $20 million more from the new owners in advertising, PSAs, or other similar programming for a total of over $36 million. This is another in a long line of victories over the fake news media, who we are holding to account for their widespread fraud and deceit. The Wall Street Journal, the failing New York Times, the Washington Post, MSNBC, CNN, and all the other mainstream liars are on notice that the days of them being allowed to deceive the American people are over. Make America great again. So again, a series of unhinged comments from Donald Trump, also in part probably to distract from the Epstein files, which again, so far is not working. But again, Trump is just ruthlessly prosecuting this war on free speech, free press, and the free media. How dare comedians criticize me? I don't like it. Now, again, before we get back to Jon Stewart, in response to this, Stephen Colbert, he went on a wildly entertaining monologue last night. One of the key quotes was, "Go fuck yourself." Colbert responds to Trump post. The Late Show host Stephen Colbert responded to Donald Trump's post that celebrated the cancellation of the program in his opening monologue on Monday. Colbert wasn't just a vocal critic of Trump. He also criticized CBS's parent, Paramount, decision to settle with him. So yes, again, to emphasize, it wasn't just Jon Stewart criticizing Paramount, his boss. It was Colbert criticizing Paramount, his boss, and the people who decided to capitulate to Trump. In his first show since CBS announced it would end the program next year, Colbert addressed Trump's Friday post that stated, quote, "I absolutely love that Colbert got fired. His talent was even less than his ratings. I hear Jimmy Kimmel is next. He has even less talent than Colbert. Colbert responded that he was the martyr and Jimmy Kimmel Live host was not next. Quote, how dare you, sir? What would an untalented man be able to compose the satirical witticism? Go fuck yourself. Again, earlier this month, Paramount agreed to pay $16 million to settle a voter interference lawsuit filed by Trump last year. The settlement was criticized by press freedom advocates who believe Paramount would have won, but they were viewed as a frivolous lawsuit. And again, most First Amendment scholars and attorneys will tell you something similar, that the robust First Amendment protections afforded to corporations would have protected them from Trump, that they would have prevailed in court. Problem is that Trump is the sitting president of the United States, and so pissing him off when you have a multi-billion-dollar merger, which needs the Trump administration's approval to proceed, puts you in a really precarious position when Trump is also notoriously vengeful. So I agree. What they did was disgraceful. It was shameful in terms of capitulating to Trump. I understand the cold lizard logic behind it, but I think that they have done significant damage to free speech, free press, First Amendment liberties in this country, and they will only embolden not just Trump, but future presidents as well. Like, Trump is bad enough, but I promise you, and conservatives taking a victory lap, I swear to you guys, you will eventually come across a ruthless Democratic president who's willing to stick it to Fox and Newsmax and all the right-wing hosts that you really enjoy to take a page from Trump's playbook, and you will not like it. Those celebrating now will not like it in the future. Nobody should be celebrating it. But I digress. So, we can't play the whole thing for various reasons, but again, just a little bit more of a snippet of Jon Stewart illustrating what the point is of his monologue.
So here's the point. If you're trying to figure out why Stephen's show is ending, I don't think the answer can be found in some smoking gun email or phone call from Trump to CBS executives or in CBS's QuickBooks spreadsheets on the financial health of late night. I think the answer is in the fear and pre-compliance that is gripping all of America's institutions at this very moment. Institutions that have chosen not to fight the vengeful and vindictive actions of our pubic hair doodling commander-in-chief. This is not the moment to give in.
And he goes on to say that he's not going to give in, and then he jokes, well, I don't think I'm going to give in, suggesting he too might be canceled. He too might be fired. It's not out of the question. Why would it be, right? So again, you should watch the full thing. You should watch Colbert's full monologue, and you should watch Jon Stewart's full monologue as well. It's brilliant. But again, because we can't play it for you, I want to look at this Rolling Stone article describing it. Jon Stewart to CBS after Colbert's late show cancellation. Go fuck yourself. The Daily Show host called on American institutions to sack the fuck up amid growing political pressure. Jon Stewart backed Stephen Colbert during Monday night's monologue on The Daily Show, joining a chorus of voices slamming CBS after its abrupt decision to end The Late Show, which Colbert has hosted for a decade, in 2026. In a statement last week, the network claimed the cancellation was financial. However, the decision to axe Colbert's top-rated show drew backlash since the announcement came days after Colbert criticized Paramount, CBS's parent company, over its decision to agree to a settlement with Donald Trump. Quote, I understand the corporate fear. I understand the fear that you and your advertisers have with $8 billion at stake, but understand this, truly. The shows that you now seek to cancel, censor, and control, a not insignificant portion of that $8 billion value came from those fucking shows, said Stewart in his fiery tirade. Quote, that's what made you that money. Shows that say something, shows that take a stand, shows that are unafraid. The late-night host warned institutions backing down. Quote, if you believe, as corporations or as networks, that you can make yourself so innocuous, that you can serve a gruel so flavorless, that you will never again be on the Boy King's radar, why will anyone watch you? And you are fucking wrong. And then that goes back to the very first clip that I showed you about Fox News, Rupert Murdoch, and the Wall Street Journal. When remarking on Trump's lawsuit against billionaire Fox owner Rupert Murdoch over the Wall Street Journal's report on a birthday letter Trump allegedly wrote to Jeffrey Epstein, Stewart quipped, quote, Murdoch is the man who, other than Biden, may be the most responsible for getting Trump elected. Then the late night host added, quote, Fox spends 24 hours a day blowing Trump, and it's not enough. Imagine suing somebody mid-blow. Finish up down there, and I'll see you in court. Again, that's his point. Point is, like, if you capitulate to, and again, it's not just, here's the thing. It's not, I think it would be hilarious. And part of me, guys, part of me really wants this to happen. For Paramount, when they capitulate to Trump, I think it would be hilarious, and somebody should probably be whispering this in Trump's ear. Deny them the merger anyway. Since this had nothing to do with the merger, since the settlement had nothing to do with the merger, since firing Colbert had nothing to do with the merger, somebody should be whispering in Trump's ear, you think these institutions are corrupt, if you really want to stick it to them, deny the merger. Deny the merger. Deny the $8 billion merger with, I believe, it's Sundance. Then you might really make a point. I think that would be a preferable outcome, because if CBS and Paramount then get their merger, that's just going to be bad for everybody. Like, all of this is bad for media as is and First Amendment free speech protections. But part of me does want Trump's spite to prevail here and really stick it to CBS. Like, hey, I got you to settle. I got you to cancel Colbert, and I'm going to screw you over anyway, just to drive the point home. That's awful and terrible. But I think it would also send a message to the rest of media going, oh shit, we can't appease this loser, right? Maybe he'll do that. I wouldn't put it past him, but I digress. Paramount, which owns both CBS and Comedy Central, has faced financial struggles amid a merger with Skydance Media proposed last year, and it is still awaiting approval by the Trump administration's Federal Communications Commission. Earlier this month, Trump received a $16 million settlement in a lawsuit he filed against CBS regarding the Kamala Harris interview, again, which we discussed this. And again, it goes on to talk about Stewart's monologue, which you should all watch in real time. It's really good. But the bottom line is this. There's a lot of things at play here. This really reeks of media capitulation and institution capitulation to Trump. That's really bad in the short term. I think it's also really bad in the long term, not just for subsequent post-Trump Republican presidents, but again, eventually, there will be a ruthless Democratic president who's so fed up with this asymmetry that they're going to take the Trump precedents and they're going to stick it to right-wingers, because turnabout is fair play. That will happen. I am almost certain that will happen eventually. We don't have to do that. We just don't need to go down that road. Trump shouldn't be doing what he's doing. He should be called out and condemned universally by everyone, certainly principled conservatives, for doing it. And these institutions, from law firms to media companies and universities, should be standing up in unison and covering for each other. When Trump goes after Columbia, Harvard should speak up, and vice versa. When Trump goes after CBS, ABC and NBC should be speaking up. And I should say this, I might cover it in a separate video. Trump kicked the Wall Street Journal off a trip with Trump, right? Because he's suing them. He's pissed. He's doing to the Wall Street Journal what he did to the Associated Press. The New York Times spoke up in the Wall Street Journal's defense publicly, and they should, publicly and loudly and consistently. And Wall Street Journal and Fox News should have been doing it for the Associated Press, publicly and loudly, saying, hey, don't do this. This is wrong. There need to be these ties that bind, right? There needs to be connective tissue, right? Just, knitting themselves over one another. And we're not seeing it happen. And so listen, Trump's victory lap here is disturbing, but I understand why he's taking it, because he thinks he's winning. And it's because of CBS and law firms and Harvard University and other universities as well that we're starting to see this. So there you have it. You guys should go watch Colbert and Stewart's full monologue. It gets pretty brutal, and we are in for some truly perilous times ahead. And remember, it's only 6 months. We are 6 months in, which means we have 3.5 years at least to go. In the meantime, let me know what you think in the comments.